Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from the healthyamerican.org. Did you know that Maui has a very robust emergency alert system? Let's take a look over here, and it's very troubling to many people because that system was not activated. This is what it looks like, these alarms here. And then I'm going to take you right on over to some information. So this is the County of Maui outdoor warning siren site. And here's what's interesting. There are 80 sirens in Maui County. They sure love that number 80. And there is a monthly test conducted of this emergency alert system at 11:15 a.m., followed by a test of the outdoor warning sirens at 11:45 a.m. on the first state workday of every month. And this siren test consists of a 60-second steady tone. So I want to show you also, here is more information about the County of Maui, the emergency management system. There are different kinds of alerts that you can get. And as you know, if you have been following any of the information, this alert was not gone out. The alerts did not go out. Now, I'm going to play you just a couple of little snippets of an updated news conference. And there are many things that bother me about this news conference. The conference is about an hour long, and I'm going to be breaking it up for you over several videos over the next couple of days, because there are so many smoking guns in this news conference, and I want to alert you to those. Many of you said that you appreciate my deep dive and how I listen carefully and I dig a little deeper, and I have the techniques of turning off the audio, just listening. I'm sorry, turning off the audio, just looking at the video, and then turning off the video and just listening to the audio, and then slowing it down and really breaking through the emotional response that they want you to have. So in just a moment, I'm going to share with you exactly why I think that they allowed the fires to burn without any of these emergency alert systems going out. We're going to start by, I'm going to cue something up for you, and you're going to take a look in just a moment. Okay, here we go. We're going to go over to this recent news conference, this press conference. I'm going to share my screen. And here we have all of the characters in play. Now, wouldn't you think, and I understand, I grabbed this snippet in a moment in time, but this is the most devastating fire, the most devastating disaster that Hawaii has experienced. This is the chief of the fire department. I have not been able to find anywhere in any of my research how many firemen were deployed. I did get conflicting information that there are between 65 and 100 firefighters on the island of Maui. Gee, that seems really thin to me. Doesn't it seem a little bit slim to you, numbers of firefighters? He deflects all of the questions. I have still not found any verifiable information regarding the number of fire trucks, the number of hoses, and I can see that I'm freezing here. I did not see the number of fire trucks, the number of hoses, and the number of personnel that were on the scene. If you have seen that, please email support@thehealthyamerican.org so I can bring that to you. This is the this is the fire chief, and he came on the scene in 2021. There was another very long time, and I think this is interesting. Let me know if you feel the same way. These are new characters on the block. So this guy has only been on for less than 2 years. This is the police chief. I'll let you know how long he's been on the scene. This is the mayor of Maui. This is the FEMA director. And just wait until I bring you this other footage coming up in subsequent videos, how they interact and the little duper's delight smiles that they share. All right. So, and this is the interpretation, and she is handling the press conference. And this is the National Guard, I believe. I will need to verify that. But first of all, I don't care for their very cheerful countenances. Even if it was a moment of a little joke or something, in the gravity of this situation, I find it somewhat disrespectful. Now, I am going to play for you, and you'll see exactly the question about why didn't the emergency responses go, and you're going to hear this communications person here answer that. You asked me to increase the size, so here we go, and I will unplug my audio so you can hear.
Yes.
You're not gonna like this, but I'm Carter Evans, and I'm from CBS News as well, but I have to ask this question.
Why wouldn't I like this?
Well, because my colleague also asked.
Got it, okay. So you're not playing by the rules, Carter, that was set out.
I apologize.
Okay.
But I wanna ask.
Carter, hold on, but seriously, Carter, I gotta make sure that I do get, I'm not trying to block your question, I just wanna make sure that everybody else, if you didn't get to ask a question yet, can you please raise your hand? I will get to Carter when we end, go ahead.
My name is Hayden Daly with the Associated Press. Just to clarify a point regarding the siren towers, and I suppose this would be best for the governor. Were they activated and didn't work properly, or were they never activated?
Okay, so that one I think was asked and answered already. Siren, I'm gonna move on. Anybody else have a question? You in the very, very back. Okay, we're gonna ask for kindness and aloha. We'll get it.
Let me X that. Okay, so if you weren't able to hear that, there was a moment where the communications woman said earlier, I'm only going to take one question per news outlet. And the CBS guy was trying to get in a second question. So everybody was kind of laughing and joking about that. I didn't think it was very funny. I thought it was a little bit disrespectful. But everybody handles grief differently. I understand, but I didn't care for that. Wait until I share with you other images and upcoming videos from this, and I'll leave a link for you if you want to watch it on your own as well. So the question came from the AP, which I think is interesting because a lot of the information was coming out of the AP, the Associated Press, which I typically don't put a lot of faith in anyway. But the question was, and that's why I think this also was kind of a planted question or a highlighted question. Why wasn't the emergency alert system activated? And the woman said, we've already answered that, we're moving on. And I don't know if you heard, but the crowd started to sort of boo and moan like, hey, wait a minute. So people are still upset about this fact that the emergency system was not activated. In this same interview, the governor, and I jotted it down here, and he actually said, and this is one of their official lines now. So they're trying to deflect this. They're trying to say, number one, we didn't know it would be so bad. We didn't activate the alarm system because we didn't realize, even though there was a red alert for a fire warning was already activated. And there were these hurricane force winds, even though the hurricane was, several hundred miles offshore. They knew that. Also, the governor is on record saying that he believes that the climate crisis is driving this kind of extreme weather. So if he knew that, if he believes that the climate is creating these intense events, then why wouldn't he have been more proactive? Why wouldn't he have been even more cautious and have these alerts go out? This is what their official line is. And I'm going to explain why I think they're pushing it so strong. He said, the winds were too strong and it wouldn't have helped to have the firefighters there. I'm going to cue that up for you in a separate video. It's actually on that news release that we were just watching. But here's what I want to bring to your attention. I believe that they did this on purpose. And here's why. Because they didn't do the alert system, and it was so devastating for all of the reasons that I've talked about in previous videos. I have a Maui fire playlist that I'll link for you below to get all of my analysis over the last few days after it first broke out. I believe that this is part of their Build Back Better resiliency plan. He uses these words again and again, the governor does. And I'll play just a quick snippet for you as I end up the video, but I want you to consider this. In their rebuilding of a smart city, and there have been many talks and conferences and plans, because this governor is a very active participant in the United Nations. He was a guest speaker, the keynote speaker, just previous to these fires here in Maui. The entire island, the entire state has this commitment to the UN sustainability agenda, as I call it. So those are the code words: sustainable, build back better, and resilience and resiliency. And I'm going to show you how that's all over the World Economic Forum and other places. So keep your antenna up for that phrase: resiliency, build back better, the 15-minute cities, the smart cities, having everything connected electronically, building them back so that they are electric and not based on gas, because we know that they want to get rid of that. And here's what I believe is going to happen. They're going to say, because this tragedy was so devastating, we have to have more surveillance. We have to have more cameras. We probably have to have a camera in everybody's home so that we can see why a fire might break out. And this isn't far-fetched, friends. People already have cameras in their homes. They're called Ring and Alexa. I don't do any of that. Smart meters probably are going to be a part of this. And many of you have, in my estimation, rightly concluded that that may have been why the fire spread so quickly, or swiftly, as they like to say. I'm going to break down that term for you in an upcoming video. So this is what I see. I believe that they did not alert people. Now, whether or not they had alerted people, I do believe that the level of destruction would have been the same, because this is not normal fire behavior. I was doing my research on how houses burn, and I came across houses that had recently been built, and they were very close together. And it took 40 minutes for 5 houses to burn, and they were right next to each other. So we're told that the entire city, that downtown area of Lahaina, the old town, burnt down in 17 minutes. Again, it defies logic, and it defies the physics of fire. So these public serpents, as I have coined, are going to say it was so disastrous that we cannot afford another disaster like this. Therefore, we need to build back with more surveillance. We might even put a limit on the number of people that can live in Lahaina. We may even put a limit on the number of houses that can go there, or the land mass that can be done. I promise you, they are going to pull out all the stops to use this devastation and this tragedy, which in my opinion was intentional, and they are going to use that in their Build Back Better scheme. In other footage, this governor said, we are going to build it back in our image. I find that such a reprehensible statement. Number one, it's really, I think, mocking God, because the Bible says that we were made in his image. And whose image are you talking about, Josh Green New Deal? You're not even Hawaiian. How in the world did this guy even get elected? Well, because he's a Democrat. He ran against a Republican native Hawaiian. Josh Green is, as they say in Hawaiian, a haole. He is an outsider. It's stunning to me that he has been in government all of these years. He's not even from Hawaii. So let me finish out by playing for you Josh Green New Deal. And I use that phrase because the Green New Deal is all about what he's going to institute. It probably will be limited on your electrical use and all sorts of other things. That 15-minute city, it's going to be his dream. So let me pull this up. I did have this in a previous video, but I'm just going to replay it for you for a moment here so you can hear. So let me share my screen and we will go right on over. Give me just a moment here. We go. And I will enlarge the video.
This is going to be a multi-year recovery. It's going to take essentially years to rebuild Lahaina, which was destroyed. But we will build it back better, and we'll build it back proudly, as we do in Hawaii.
Hang on. All right. I have many healthy Americans in the Pride community. There are many Hawaiians in the Pride community. I find it interesting that maybe I'm off base here, but he does keep talking about building back proudly on his own website. Let me see if I can cue that up for you as well. He also says that he is a proud father, and many of you are suspicious about why he is married to a woman. So I have I'm not here to talk about people's choices. I'm here to talk about him being a fake fraud and phony if he's not even being honest with the community and with his wife. That's what some of you healthy Americans said. I did not draw that conclusion. But when you look at some of his additional actions, some of these things just are strange to me. Again, you may think I'm completely off base here, but these public serpents choose their words carefully. This is scripted. They know what they're going to say. in advance. All right, let me share with you this. All right, let's see what good company Josh Green New Deal is in, as he wants to proudly, with pride, yes, with pride, he wants to proudly build back Lahaina and build back better. So let's take a look here, shall we? And oh, look at this, build back better. I knew I had heard that somewhere before. Gosh, here we go. Build back better. Well, let's take a look over here with the World Economic Forum. Oh, to build back better, we will have to reinvent capitalism. Gee, I guess it didn't work so well in the United States, bringing the, most of people to a better way of life when there is capitalism. If you're not familiar with what capitalism is, I have done videos on that in the past. So here we are, build back better. World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. They also love that word, resiliency. Here we go. The Resilience Consortium from the World Economic Forum, seizing the moment to build resilience for the future, new resilience to forge strategies. Oh, I like this, resilience for sustainable, inclusive growth. Stay tuned, friends, because you're going to be hearing these words over and over again out of the mouth of Josh Howley. Josh Green New Deal. Do you really think he has the best interest of the Hawaiians at heart? It's very strange to me. He only became governor. This is his new term, all right? 2023. So a lot of these characters are new on the scene. I have friends that live in Hawaii. I have friends that are Hawaiian. And I will tell you that the Hawaiian people, if you want to talk about resiliency, authentic resiliency, they are. And one of my friends said, Peggy, the locals are never going to stand for this type of new world 15-minute smart city. They will fight it. And my hope and my prayer is that this could be where the people take things, turn it around, and they are not going to let these evil policies move ahead. I can see that I'm buffering a little bit here. I will continue to bring you more coverage on this. I'm going to endeavor to make the videos a little shorter, a little more bite-sized so that they're on one topic, but all of these topics are interrelated. So I will leave you links if you want to study on your own. And I thank you for standing up, for having eyes to see the truth. And another reason why I bring you these videos is because many of you said, Peggy, I feel like I'm alone. No one in my family understands. I can see what's going on, but the others are blind to it. So I'm here to give you that verification and to really validate for you that what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. And it is clear when you read between the lies that this is not natural, that this is planned, that there is evil at work, and we are going to continue to expose it and stand and fight and pray and rely on God for our strength and our perseverance. All right, friends, I'll see you soon in the upcoming video.